It's turtle time, or is it? Ramona Singer has officially been removed from BravoCon, blocked by Bravo, and Joe Gorga's even under fire. So get ready, we're about to get into it.
Oh, hi, it's me, Zack Peter, pop culture junkie, reality TV insider, published author, and host of the No Filter with Zack Peter podcast. Here I'll bring you all the latest news on the Real Housewives, deep dives into celebrity legal scandals, and unfiltered convos with your favorite stars. I've got you covered, and yes, I always keep receipts. So be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest tea. Now, let's dive in.
Guys, what is going on in the Bravo world this week? Okay, so as we know, we had the Vanity Fair article, which initially I was like, this article is not damning. Like, there's nothing crazy going on in this article. It's silly. And then I was like, in the Ramona stuff, like, we saw the investigation. The investigation didn't go anywhere. It didn't find anything. Well, she's officially gotten herself into some more trouble because she's officially been banned from BravoCon. It's interesting. I wonder if she will end up crashing BravoCon like Jen Shaw did. Remember was it? No, it wasn't last year. Was she in prison yet? When did she go to prison? Locked up. They won't let her. It was last year, right? Because she just went to prison this year. So remember, she crashed BravoCon. She's still. Could you imagine if Ramona still went to Vegas and like did the damn thing? That would be insane. But before we get into that, I want to let you couple announcements. Donna Bowling's going to be on the show this Thursday, so we're going to have a fun collab with her. I was just on the Pop Apologists podcast, which is out now. We talk about the Roni reunion, our thoughts of Roni overall, our thoughts of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and a bit about my Erica Jane interview. Shout out to Page 6, who gave me some really nice coverage. And I was the number one trending story on Page 6 yesterday. Hey. It's so funny to be in like a reality where like I'm trending on the internet in articles next to Erica Jane and John Hamm, because that's what everybody was picking up on, was the fact that she told John Hamm, fuck you. So that was all over the place. Just Jared, Hollywood Life, Page 6, Us Weekly, Perez Hilton. Yeah, it was all over. Daily Mail. So that was exciting. And then I will be live with Josh from Louisiana. He's going to be back. We'll be live tonight to do our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap on YouTube. So you can check that out. We'll be doing Salt Lake City recap today, Wednesday. Thursday, Donna Bowling's on the podcast. This Friday's members only. I'll give you some behind the scenes about my Erica interview. And be sure to get your tickets. We're now 19 days away from the Bourbon Room, my show at the Bourbon Room in Hollywood. It's a great show. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of surprise guests that are going to be making cameos. So you're going to want to, maybe one that I was spilling tea, or that we were talking a little tea about yesterday. When was that? Yeah, it was yesterday's live that we were chit-chatting. So we may get a little more tea. Yeah, we'll see. But thank you guys. I appreciate you. Does this Friday mean Thursday evening? Yes. If you're a member on YouTube, you'll get the live stream on Thursday night. And if you're a member of No Filter Plus on Apple Podcasts, then you'll get the audio on Friday morning. All right, guys, let's get into it. How do you look so good after being up so late last night? I have no idea, Amy. I'm literally like, oh my God. I was hurting this morning. I was like struggling. I normally get up at 4, and today I had to get up at 4:30. But I got my ass to the gym, and I was working out up in the gym, just working on my fitness. He's my witness. Okay, let's get into the Ramona of it all. So Vanity Fair drops their article, right? They wanted comment from Ramona for Page 6. They reach out to Ramona. They're like, hey, what is your reaction to this? And she ends up texting them. Actually, let me pull up the text messages, because Page 6 is like, we're going to actually drop the receipts and show you what Ramona did. I'm just like, oh my God, Ramona. Like, really? Like, this is one thing we just don't do. Like, I can't with her. Like, I get it. She's, not the most upstanding citizen, but also just at the same time, dude, like, come on. Like, how do we just end up being this boneless? And this isn't about like being sensitive or whatever. Like, this is okay. So let me show you the text message that she sent to a reporter. Okay. It reads, so she sends a screenshot of the article to Page 6 and writes, This never was on the hot sheet. If you read the Vanity Fair article, please remove. And it says real estate brokers' comments about Roni not needing Black people reportedly made producers hot sheet. So Page 6 reported that it was in the hot sheet. Hot sheets are like reports of what goes on for filming that day. So like, oh, today Sonia and Ramona peed on themselves and shit the floor. And then they send that to the higher up executives, and then they look at the notes. So like Andy will review the hot sheets. So she says that was never in the hot sheets. Page 6 reporter says that was changed yesterday. So they clarified that. They set the record straight, saying, that was reported inaccurately. And then Ramona said, this is also upsetting. And the word I used was N-word, not, and then she starts to spell it out. She writes N-I-G ... So I don't know. I'm just like, Ramona, like you're already under fire. This article is already pretty damning. And then we're just going to double down on this. Like, it just is bad news bears. I'm curious what you guys think. I'm just like, God. So now she was immediately removed from her BravoCon panel for Roni Legacy. And the issue then becomes, I wonder if Bravo's going to issue a statement. I wonder what they're going to say. They were hoping that this would all just die down and go away, and they would just go into BravoCon without any controversy. And had none of these women talked to the reporters after the release of the article, which I'm sure they were all instructed to not talk to reporters, and then Ramona Singer goes. And the hard thing is they're allowed to release these text messages because at no point did Ramona say this was off the record. So when you're a reporter, when you're a journalist, I know because I took journalism in college, in order, something has to explicitly be said to you that it is off the record, like that there needs to be that understanding before the information gets revealed. You cannot say, oh, by the way, even though I told you all of this, that's off the record. Off the record has to be established before any information is exchanged. So in this case, Ramona did not say that their text messages were off the record. She may have been under that impression, but at no point did she explicitly say, I'm telling you this off the record, X, Y, and Z. So, and you just always have to assume anytime you're talking to any sort of reporter or journalist, they can use that for their stories. They can use that for their content. It just, unless it's pre-established. And in this case, it was not pre-established. So they were able to run with it. So she's been removed from BravoCon. I wonder if this is going to affect Ultimate Girls Trip, because we know that Bravo was trying to avoid the nightmare, the PR nightmare that was with Ultimate Girls Trip season 4, because we had Brandi Glanville and Caroline Manzo and all of that drama. And now we have Ramona, and she's part of Legacy. And the hard part is so many people were fighting to have Ramona back. It's just, it's just wild. Wild, wild, wild. Ramona, no spelling of the exact way you offended everyone with the N-word dork. Yeah, it's just, she should have stayed radio silent. I agree, Urka Pie. She should have just, listen, when you're part of the scandal, like this is, you don't talk to reporters. You're just like, let the scandal die down. Let me zip my lips and just let this all blow over, especially when it's something as bad, like the accusations were as bad as they were against Ramona, So Ramona is dunzos. It's just going to be interesting to see what happens, because then all the cast goes down for this, right? I wonder when Bravo, I believe, was originally going to release Ultimate Girls Trip in December. And I want to say they were going to release a teaser or a trailer at BravoCon. That would be, at least I don't have any inside knowledge about that, but that would be the most logical thing for them to do, is to pimp it up. So I guess now we're really going to have to pivot. We shall see. If you're watching this live on YouTube, hit the like button. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, then definitely be sure to leave me a nice Apple Podcast review, because we love those reviews, and sign up for No Filter Plus. You get bonus episodes, members only bonus episodes every Friday. So, and again, guys, don't forget to get your tickets to the Bourbon Room show, November 19th, nofilterlive.com. Go to nofilterlive.com. Okay. We need Ultimate Girls Trip Ramona. I know. I'm just like, how they should have listened. It's not a new problem with Ramona. Yeah, listen, it just, it's like, how many times can we give this woman a chance? How many times can we let her hang herself again and again and again? I think at this point, Bravo may just have to cut ties with her, unfortunately. Even though she makes great television, it's like she just keeps doing this stupid shit. And it's like, what's racism? I mean, yeah, it's called racism. She assassinated her own character. Um, listen, we don't need to get into all of that. We don't need to fight in the live chat, you guys. Okay, should we talk about Joe Gorga? Because he is also under fire. But I think Ramona should probably get herself a little help. She probably needs to talk through some of this because, she's going to be getting it from all sides, which is a perfect segue into this episode, which is brought to you by BetterHelp. Do you ever find that just as you're trying to fall asleep, your brain suddenly won't stop talking? Do your thoughts start racing right before bed or at other inopportune moments? I remember how stressed I've been earlier this year with my move and my dogs and all the things. I was very overwhelmed. And it turns out one great way to tout those racing thoughts is to go talk through them. Therapy helps you do just that so you can get out of your negative thought cycles and have some mental and emotional peace or clarity. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try today. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed professional and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/nofilter to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP, betterhelp.com/nofilter. All right. Whew. Let's talk about Joe because Joe's under fire. I know everyone's like, actually, before we talk about Joe, there was this video that was going around about Margaret Josephs. That people were sharing online saying that it was an audio clip of her claiming that she used the word Negro referring to somebody. And I just want to debunk that. That was not a real video. I was surprised that people were actually sharing that. I think Bravo Babe even like debunked it. And she's like, how is it that people are believing this stuff? It's not a real audio clip. And it's weird that people are so like deranged that they will fake audio or fake video clips in order to. And Margaret came out and she's like, this isn't real. And you can hear the clip and it does not sound like Margaret's voice at all. It does not sound like Margaret at all. The fact that people were listening to that clip and be like, oh my God, this is Margaret Josephs because somebody says, some low budget Twitter account says that this is Margaret Josephs. It was strange. It was weird. And the fact that like people are even feeding into that kind of stuff and believing it or even feeling the need to like try to ruin somebody's life by putting out a fake audio clip is just weird. It's just like creepy and weird. Which I saw American Horror Stories with Lisa Rinna. Fucking great. I saw 2 of the episodes. There were 4 episodes that dropped for American Horror Stories, not the one with Kim Kardashian and Emma Roberts, but the stories, which are mini stories. There are 4 episodes that dropped on Hulu. I saw the first one with the best friend one. That one was fucking creepy. I just want to say that. I'd never watched American Horror Stories, but it was creepy. And then I saw the Lisa Rinna one. I didn't watch the other 2, but I saw the Lisa Rinna one, and that was good. Lisa Rinna, she's a great actress. She plays a ruthless and toothless agent, like a model agent, where she represents and she makes women into models, and it's actually great. I would highly recommend it. Lisa Rinna's great in it. The show's good. I only saw 2 of the 4 though. Just saying. Okay, let's talk about Joe Gorga because he's under fire. He was doing, I guess, a Las Vegas comedy show at Brad Garrett's, and he was going to have like Frank Catania in it, and so apparently it was never a real thing. Joe's rep, and I think Joe even went on Instagram with Joe Benigno, right? Benigno, isn't that how you say his last name? With the other Joe and with Frank Catania, and they said that like they were scammed. So I guess there was supposed to be a comedy show in Las Vegas at Brad Garrett's. Brad Garrett then went on Instagram and he's like, "What is this? This is not real. I don't know who this Joe person is, but I am not hosting them at my comedy club, and we are not. The show is not real and it's not happening." That said, everyone started freaking out because it was an actual ticket link. Joe Gorga was promoting it. It was going around, and then now that Brad Garrett comes out and says that it's not real and posts on Instagram saying that it's not real, everybody was like, well, what the fuck? We're buying tickets to this thing to go see Joe Gorga's comedy show. And apparently some fake rep from Brad Garrett's, who's not real, reached out to Joe's attorney or Joe's manager. The statement that he released says it was his attorney. I feel like attorneys don't usually book these things. But it was supposed to be on Sunday, the last day of BravoCon, this Sunday, this upcoming Sunday. And it was going to have another comedian in it. Frank was going to be in it. But Joe's attorney, or sorry, a rep for Joe, ended up releasing a statement to Deadline saying that it was coming from a fake Brad Garrett. Joe's attorney was scammed. They even had signed contracts in place. So Joe was expecting to actually go and do a comedy show in Vegas, and apparently somebody scammed him. Which is strange. You would think if that was your attorney, like, wouldn't your attorney like do a little more due diligence with this? I just feel like it's weird. So he's like, sorry, everyone's going to get their tickets refunded. I don't know if he's going to personally refund them or how that's going to get refunded, but how do you like also sick and twisted? Like, who's going to people and be like, hey, let me book you in a comedy show for BravoCon? And you're just like, oh, yeah, let me sign on the dotted line. I don't know. But like, how do you not fall in? Like, it's weird. It's a weird scam though. But like, how do you like if somebody came to me and they're like, "Hey, I represent this comedy club and we want you to come do No Filter Live there," I would be like, "Okay, cool." And they'd be like, "Okay, here." I'd be like, "What are the details? What's the pay? Like, give me, give me the spiel." I know this because I booked a number. We booked a number of No Filter Live shows at this point. That like, if somebody was like, "We want to do No Filter Live at our comedy club," let's go, drop it. And I'll be like, okay, let's sign on the dotted line. Like, and then there was a ticket link and they gave me that ticket link. Like, I guess you wouldn't typically think, like, read into things because you would just assume that, like, you wouldn't think that you're going to get scammed. I don't know. Like, part of me at first, I was like, yeah, this kind of sounds like Joe's attorney really screwed up. But now I'm also thinking, I'm like, but actually, like, it's kind of logical, right? Like, scams happen. Again, what's the scammer's deal? Have some dignity. Have some dignity. Would you rather the scammer steal from orphans and widows? Like, I don't understand. Scammers have no dignity. Screams fraud. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what scammers do. They're fraudulent. If you'd never met him, wouldn't they Google him? No. No, because it's a comedy club. It's somebody that's claiming to be a manager at a comedy club. And here's the other thing. Most of these like comedy clubs or most of these managers, like they don't always have like a professional email. A lot of times they have like a Gmail or an AOL or an sbcglobal.net. That's just like a standard email that they have. So for me, I don't know. And Deb says, I wonder if he had business insurance and will use that to pay tickets and make a claim for his expenses. Insurance scam sounds about right. Oh, interesting. So you think Joe Gorga is doing an insurance fraud scam? Well, but their attorney says that there were signed contracts and everything. So I don't know. Now that you put that out there, now all the Melissa Gorga haters are going to run with that theory on Twitter. And they're going to be like, "Did you hear this theory on Zack Peter's podcast? Joe is pulling an insurance fraud scheme." I don't want my name. I did not say that. Drag end up for it. JK, JK. I mean, I don't know. It wouldn't be the first time there was a scam. I don't know. That is just, whew. Well, yeah. Lindsay Hubbard also talked to Us Weekly. She said that Carl Radke humiliated her and blew her entire life up by breaking up with her. Which was revealed by Us Weekly. So, I mean, I feel like she's going to try to run. I like Lindsay. I do like Lindsay, but I do agree with Paige that like Lindsay is the master of PR, the master of spin, and I think she wants like a Scandival style. She wants to be like Ariana. So, and says Frank is a former attorney. He can put together a contract or two. You guys, you really think that this is an insurance scam? That's so crazy. The comedy club is in a major hotel. Vegas is so strict with everything, so much red tape, especially a show on the strip. I call BS on Joe. Scams like that in Vegas on the strip don't happen. Well, Lisa, that's interesting. I know that they're also doing separate panels again at BravoCon, that the Gorgas have their panel and Teresa has her panel. So it'll be interesting. Because remember last year at BravoCon, Jennifer Aiden had the glass and she threw the glass. And Joe called her names and they got into a fight in the hotel lobby, which in retrospect was really not that big of a deal if we think about it. Like, I know there were like all the reports like Bravo was so upset about that, but like it really was not that big of a deal. But the fact that they're still doing separate panels, like, but also, I mean, given the reunion, I understand. Like, they were going so hard at each other at the reunion that I would imagine that they would still, that it would be brutal to have them on stage together in front of a live audience. And they're just gonna, like, Teresa has a potty mouth, and that she's gonna rip them apart or just not engage with them. But like, can't you just sit through a panel, sit on opposite sides, and just like not get heated and just answer your questions and try to get through it and maybe just be tolerable rather than being so dramatic? That's my thought. I don't know. People are saying uh, Lindsay dodged or Carl dodged a bullet. That's not very nice. Listen, I think he had to have really loved her. You know? We'll see. Oh, it looks like Mauricio, he got booted off Dancing with the Stars last night. He told Us Weekly, I was definitely shocked. I was definitely surprised. Was he though? Is anybody watching Dancing with the Stars? Was he actually really good in it? I don't know. He's just sad. He's shocked that he's no longer going to get to see Emma every day. Emma Slater, his new rumored girlfriend. The rumors about the girlfriend. Mm-hmm. We'll see. I don't think Mauricio can dance, so I'm not really surprised that he's not back. Not really surprised. Talking about the husband. Okay. Well, I mean, that's all the news I've got for you guys. I feel like that was pretty juicy news, though. It wasn't a long episode, but we got into all of the Ramona stuff. We got into all the Joe Gorga stuff. So there we go. Tooted and booted. Is Special Forces still on? Is Tom Sandoval still on Special Forces? I forgot about that show. I will say House of Villains is a bit of a letdown. I don't want to say that out loud because I was kind of disappointed. I was really liking it, but now I'm just kind of like, I just feel like they're dragging it out a little too much, you know? So it's not something that I'm like actively looking about. Emily D. Baker is talking about Erica's earrings in a premiere. Yay! Oh, we're going to get into this. Oof. Emily, please don't drag me. Please don't drag me. For my Erica interview. Oh, Special Forces is back next week. Okay, well that'll be good. Is Jax gone? Yeah, Jax was the first one eliminated from House of Villains, which is what I predicted, and my predictions always come true. Number one, I'm seriously psychic because think about it. Every one of my predictions has come true. Every one of them. When is book club coming back? We'll do book club. So here's the thing. People are confused about book club because I decided to put the Britney book club on the actual Emily D. Baker is a boss, amazing legal coverage. Yeah, I agree. I love Emily. I was just talking to her the other day. I love her. She's a friend of mine. But book club. So I was doing the Britney book. And I figured since there was so much interest in the Britney book, let me put book club on the main podcast feed. So it was in last week's episode. I think it was on Wednesday, is when I covered the Britney book. And I'll wrap up the Britney book tomorrow on Thursday. It'll be part of, I know we normally do like Tuesday night live streams where we break down the Britney of it all, or the book, whatever book we're doing, but I'm not I decided not to do it on a live stream this year because I just figured there was so much interest in it. So, but we'll do part 2 of the Britney book that'll be worked into tomorrow's podcast episode with Donna Bowling from Daily Dose of Donna. So yeah, there we go. So it's on there. You can get the first part of the Britney book from last week's episode on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. It's there. It's just part of last week's episode. It's in the title. You'll see it says Britney book review in the actual title of it. And you'll see, I think it was last Thursday as well. So you got last week, you got this week, or I think it was last Wednesday. But okay, you're intuitive. No, I'm psychic. Let me be psychic. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's all the tea that I have for you. Like I said, tonight, Wednesday evening, we will be going live on YouTube. Me and Josh from Louisiana will be recapping Real Housewives of Salt Lake City tonight. I will be live with Donna Bowling with the new podcast episode on Thursday. And then we will have our members only Thursday night. That'll drop for members on Friday on Apple Podcasts who sign up for No Filter Plus. And I will be on Morally Corrupt, breaking down Real Housewives of, or not Real Housewives, Southern Charm. Rachel Lindsay and I will be recapping Southern Charm on Spotify's Ringer Reality TV podcast. Morally Corrupt Fridays. Rachel Lindsay and I recap shows together along with Jodie Walker. So you can tune into that this Friday morning. Oh, God, when do I stop taping content? When do I have time to do anything? When do I have time to breathe? Get your tickets to my live show at the Bourbon Room, November 19th at nofilterlive.com. We have Donna Bowling that's going to be in the show. We have the Bra Bros that are going to be in the show. Josh from Louisiana, Evan Rio from Page 6, Steven, Faces by Bravo, Jeff Epstein, Zachary Reality, Jolene Lunzer, and many, many more. All right, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Happy November. And shout out to my girl Jenny McCarthy. Today's her birthday. Hey girl, happy birthday. Let's get it. All right, guys. Love you. Mean it. Ciao for now. Going to be a great show at the Bourbon Room. Yay, Amy. Also, if you guys can't make it to the Bourbon Room, you can still buy live stream tickets to the show. The show will not air on the podcast, by the way. So what you get is what you get that night. Get your live stream tickets or come to the show November 19th at the Bourbon Room, nofilterlive.com to get tickets to both. All right. Love you guys. Ciao for now.